Hello, I'm Tom Whittick, and this is a special edition of Ridgecrest Talk. Last Tuesday, KZGN was invited to visit with Department of Defense Secretary Carter. Secretary Carter is the highest level military visitor ever to come to China Lake, except for President Kennedy back in the 1960s. While we have had other high-level Navy and DoD officials, never the Secretary of Defense. He is a member of the President's Cabinet. Carter arrived at China Lake at about noon on Tuesday. He had meetings with senior management, including Admiral Corey, and did some touring. Near the end of his visit, he held a press conference. There even was national media there, along recording the visit. And the presence of Secret Service was noticeable. During media questioning, he did state that the budget he has proposed for next year includes funding for more advanced weapons development. And the budget also includes funds he thinks are necessary to defeat ISIS. It was good to hear his comments on that national security issue. After the press conference, he went out and met with the sailors of VX-31, the air squadron at China Lake. There were probably about 50 sailors there for the conference. After a short speech, he even took the time to personally shake hands with every sailor and thank them for their service. Here's a video of his visit.
The reason I came here, other than to take a look at some of these very important programs that we're doing, is it's a reflection of one of the themes that you'll see again and again and again when we release our budget. Which is an emphasis on high-end capabilities and making sure that we, once again, as we reach this inflection point strategically as a country, which is reflected in this budget that the President is submitting in 2 weeks, as we reach that inflection point, that we're making the investments in keeping ahead of our principal potential antagonists who have high-end capability, that we retain that American edge. And for the Navy, here, the naval facility, that means making sure that their ships and their aircraft are lethal, that they have the best weapons. It's important that you have ships and aircraft that have the very best weapons, the very best sensors, the very most sophisticated sensors, the very most survivable designs in their sensors. And I can't talk about everything I saw here, but they all are in that same direction of high-end capability and increasing and really multiplying the capability of our individual ships and aircraft, and actually submarines for that matter also, so that we have not only the best platforms, but they have the highest end capability. I can't describe everything we saw today, but that's actually a sign. We like to surprise people. And so some of our opponents will find themselves surprised when this stuff gets into the field, which is going to be very soon. I should also say that this place signifies the critical importance of our science and technology base. And as you know, one of the other things in our budget is increasing our R&D spending, consistent with our determination to remain innovative. And you see the innovative people here, I should say, of all generations, including some great engineers who have been here a long time, who have all that tremendous experience, and some young engineers who are just feeling the incredible appeal of the mission of being part of national security, being part of defense. It's something, as you know, that I think is incredibly important to our future, and it's our great magnet is for young people to feel that they're doing something of great consequence. And we saw some of those folks here today. You'll see more of these details in the budget. You obviously won't see all the details for the things that we want to be surprising about. I did bring a few illustrative items of programs that China Lake is involved in that are going to be represented in the budget, and what actions we're taking to make sure we're making investments in weapons and sensors and capabilities, as well as in our important platform program. So a Tomahawk, give an example. Tomahawk is something which is flown from the ocean right in here to China Lake to be tested. So this place has been part of that program from the very beginning. That's a program that's constantly evolving in every way. The characteristics of that missile, but we need to make sure we fill the tubes on our submarines and our surface ships with the very best and the newest, and lots of Tomahawks because we expend them over time. We want to diversify the kinds of targets that they can hit, from land attack, which is probably how you first met the Tomahawk many years ago, to an anti-ship version, so that we continue to diversify our suite of anti-ship missiles, again, in the spirit of making everything we have lethal. And in that connection, the number there is about $2 billion. That's a lot of money, $2 billion over the fight-in for Tomahawk. That'll buy 4,000 Tomahawks plus fund the development of these advanced capabilities, which adds life to them as well as capability. Thank the leadership here. It's heartening to see so many great scientists and engineers working on so many important and very successful programs. So let me stop and answer the question. Munitions, the lethality of systems, sensors, everything you do here is part of the cutting edge, not only strategically and technologically, but budgetarily as well. So I think the future of China Lake's very bright, and that's deserved because you do great work. You got great people here. So it's a good question, but I have only good things to say. That's one of the reasons I came here.
Got time for two more, Terry?
This is a critical year for the Afghan security forces because they will be, and we want them to be, and that's stronger than they were in the last year, simply because now they're going to have a better organization, they're going to have better training, they're going to have more aircraft, better use of indirect fires, better command and control, all those things. Because remember, the Afghan security forces are a force that we're building. It's not built yet. We're building, it gets better every year. We need to acquaint young people, I know you're asking about mid-career people, but young people earlier in their lives with the opportunities, so that even if they don't come in at that time, maybe later they will, because they'll be familiar with us, they'll be looking for that opportunity, they'll see a posting of a job here, and they'll say, you know what, I remember what it was like to be part of that wonderful mission, which is defending our people and making a better world. I mean, that's great, right? There's nothing more noble that you can wake up in the morning and be part of it. If they've caught that bug, then some point later in their career, maybe it'll be rekindled and they'll come in. Now, for us, that means we need to be able to hire people at that level of skill and experience, which is going to require some more flexibility than we have. You've heard me talk about this before. And so that's hiring high-tech talent. And let's remember that scientists and engineers like me are people too, so we have families and everything, and so it matters that family life be compatible with government service. That's something I've been addressing in the last week in our uniform. And then the final thing I'll say is, I never ever forget how fantastic our civilians are, and whenever I talk about the fantastic people in the Department of Defense, I always say uniform and civilian. We have great, wonderful civilians who you see them here. They're an important part of the technological workforce, and that's what makes the total force, and we depend upon them. By the way, we depend on the private sector also. And so the people who do work for us under contract, they're part of the team too. And they're necessary also to get that talent, that input in science and technology.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Great. Thanks all very much.
While he never really gave an exact reason for his visit, he alluded to that China Lake is a very important asset to the Navy and all of DoD, and that he visited to actually see the capabilities of China Lake. This is a real good sign for China Lake into the future, and we want to thank the Naval Command for inviting us to be part of this historic event. The Public Affairs Office was great in all the preparations for our visit. In all, we had about an hour of the Secretary's time. Now here's a video showing some of the excitement at NOC-WD at China Lake. What a great video. So that's Ridgecrest Talk for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news and information. We thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station.